What if I told you that the woman who won the 2020 Tokyo Marathon with a time of 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 45 seconds, thus securing the 6th fastest women's marathon time in history, is back in Tokyo to represent Israel in the Olympics? You would ask if she's Jewish. Can you tell that I haven't slept in 2 days? I've got to be at work in 4 hours and 3 minutes. But anyway, let's get it. Lonah Chemtai Salpeter is a Kenyan-Israeli long-distance runner who has run in 5,000-meter, 10,000-meter, half-marathon, and marathon events professionally since 2014. As I said, her Tokyo Olympic marathon time puts her 6th all-time, which is first in Israeli history and second in European history. Okay. First side point of the video. Why are they counting Israel as European? I'm gonna come out and say it, that's some bullshit. Does Lebanon get to count as European? No, that's foul. When I see shit like that, I'm just reminded of how Turkey with the 20th largest economy by nominal GDP, with the 18th largest population, and still lineal heavyweight, successor to the Roman Empire, was not allowed to join the EU when they wanted to, whereas Greece and Italy got to lie their way in, despite the fact that any of these fucking Brusselites probably couldn't tell the difference between a Greek and a Turk if they seen them in the streets. I don't mean that offensively to Greece. I love Greece. And it was dirty how the Germans gave you all the European debt and then called you lazy in front of the whole world in 2009. That was fucked up. I'm just saying, if anyone deserves to be in the EU, it's Turkey. Tangent aside, Lona was born in a small village in West Pokot County, Kenya in 1988. She did not run out there. When asked about it, she said, "There are so many great runners, but they don't run. Our tribe, Pokot, they are warriors. They like to fight for cows, but they are good runners anyway." And good runner anyway, she is. In 2008, she moved to Israel to work as a nanny for the 3 children of a Kenyan diplomat.
Rift Valley. So I grew up there until when I was 20, I moved to Israel. So like nanny. Hard time for me, but I learned a lot. So maybe this is make me to be strong athlete.
2 years later, when embassy staff went around trying to see if anyone would volunteer for a 10K, she said, quote, "I want to run without any practice." And she did. After that, she started running as a hobby.
And then I say, I have quite time to go jog, like for hobby, not for interest.
And was noticed by a running coach in a park.
My favorite thing about Israel is friendship. So when I meet them, so they tell me, "You look good, you can come train with us."
She joined his group and ran her first serious 10K in 2011, where she got second with 37 minutes. Around that time, she injured her leg, went to the doctor, met the doctor's roommate, started running with him, started being coached by him, and then fell in love with him. That guy's name is Dan Salpeter.
So I met my husband, now he's my coach. So, and then I start slowly, so I was like, oh, I will do like I only do 10K, I winning with 37, so I'm like excited, so because for me it's something so nice.
2013, when her contract with the Kenyan Foreign Service expired and she had to go back, she, quote, already made a decision that I will stay, so I didn't take my stuff. I took my stuff to Dan's house because I loved him, and he will stay with me. Daw. But this isn't about love, unless it's some sort of abstract love for the descendants of an ancient Semitic tribe. She got her visa to go back May of the same year, married Salpeter, got pregnant, and had a son named Roy. Then, Roy gave her the flu right before the Berlin Marathon. Frickin' Roy. She still ran, but had to stop 18 kilometers in. She tried again a few months later, but collapsed 39 kilometers in and woke up in hospital. But 3 weeks after that, she hit the Tel Aviv Marathon and qualified for the Olympics, and secured her Israeli citizenship 1 month later, because Olympics, and then went to Rio. What did Kenya think of her running for Israel? Well, Kenyan ambassador Augustino Nurohe said, Kenya and Israel are so good friends. We cannot hand you the medal, but we can give you someone who can bring the medal. This is what good friends are for. Basically saying, Kenya has so much Olympic talent, we'll let you have this one off the strength. And they're right. They're great. Anyway, in Rio, she was doing well, but eventually dropped out 35 kilometers in, saying later on Facebook that she was still nursing and therefore running with, quote, breasts full of milk, and she was in intense pain and had to bow out. Roy!
You need my time. So to recover is not easy.
Nah, he's a little cutie.
The best thing to be a mom when you are like upset or you are tired. So when you see your baby smiling, so it disappears, so you feel happy.
Israeli racists clowned her for that. But she was vindicated when she came back and won the 2018 European 10,000 meter cup, then the 2018 10,000 meter European athletics championships. Then she goofed in the 5,000 meter and stopped a lap early and was clowned again, but not as racistly this time. Interestingly, Bibi actually came out and tweeted, Lonah Chemtai, you are a true star. You have brought great honor to our country. Which is nice, but it doesn't mean he's not a slime ball. Then, she put her head down, won a bunch of marathons, half marathons, 10K events, to the point where even the racist Israelis could jack it. She won the 2020 Tokyo Marathon to qualify for the 2020 Olympics, and that brings us up to today. She will be running the marathon event on August 6th at a time that you should look up. So is she Jewish? While being Kenyan does not necessarily preclude her from being so, as there are both native Nilotic and Bantu Jewish communities in Kenya. Subscribe for a future deep dive. Unfortunately, it does not seem to be so. While she is an Israeli citizen with a Jewish husband and son, Karaite rules apply. None of these articles say she's Jewish, which they definitely would if she was. Also, because of weirdo Israeli law, she and Salpeter couldn't get married in Israel and had to get married in Nairobi. Which, it definitely wouldn't have been a problem if she was Jewish, you feel me? Which is ass. Yes. Anyway, go Lona. And also go the other Israeli marathon runner, Maor Tiuri, who is Jewish. But at the same time, don't go too hard, because the US has 3 women competing in the marathon, and we really need those medals right now. USA. USA. Conclusion. Shows promise, but not Jewish.